if it works or not. So if I remember correctly, I have to go to YouTube account, create, go live. Oh, it's live. Nice. I can see myself. That's something. Well, it works. We know that much at least. Let's see if I can do Kick. Not the movie, apparently. If I should go to create a dashboard and see. Wow. Okay, it's almost instantaneous. Nice to see it. Now I have to check if I have the chat thing on, and for that I need to. Oh, it's actually showing my that I'm a viewer here. That's nice. It's always nice to see that someone is watching. It's very strange to have no viewers at all, but it's even stranger when someone is watching when you're used to not having any viewers. But yeah, mainly I wanted to see if this new chat plugin works or not. I thought that would be very cool because that's something that I had been missing from the old multi-streaming thing back when I was streaming a couple of months ago. And 1 month ad free. No, I just want to go to my stream and say good morning or something and see if I can manage stream. Don't know how it works.
Can you not drink tap water?
No, accidentally doing. Never mind. Yeah, okay. That is my stream. So I should say good morning here and it should pop up over there. Oh, okay. It is working. Nice. So if I go to Kick and do the same. So all I have to do is to go to my live, I think. Yeah, it should be here. Yeah, I should write good morning, not good morning. My English is not that bad that I cannot even say good morning. Where is, create a dashboard. You go and you say hello. Now I should be able to see all three I'm able to see. Chat, I just want it to be very big actually. I want it to be the biggest window around because that's the main point of all this streaming thing, isn't it? That you can talk to people. The first thing that actually showed up is the bots. Constant limited. Constant limed. Okay. Lime is CaCO3, right? I have been studying some geology recently, so I do know that one. I don't know how audible I am at the moment. I should check. See, this is always something I find very fascinating, that you can see yourself streaming. This is always something I find very fascinating. Oh, wow, okay. No, okay. And it's even more surprising when you just listen to yourself talk when you're not expecting it. So let me just go and check on YouTube if it's live. Yeah, it is live. So let me just go and check on YouTube. It's a couple of seconds of delay, but other than that, everything is fine. That is nice. That's all I wanted to say, that I don't actually know what this does. Apparently, it's supposed to be some kind of pop filter or something. Never actually used it. Since nobody is here, I can just play with it. Well, that can be taken very out of context, but okay. So what I have at the moment is a reasonable streaming setup. I don't think you can even see my microphone on the camera. That is nice. Uh, what else? Not much in the chat. Part of me just wants to play some game, maybe Batman series. I do have that one available. I think the game capture thing is something that can be useful, but I don't know how to actually do any of that. So probably, or maybe I can just watch someone else streaming. That also works. Why do I have 2 viewers? I'm supposed to have none at the moment because I'm just actually testing out the settings. If that is a real person, then they are getting a look behind the scenes. Wow, I actually need to clean up a little bit. I look like a homeless person. And yeah, the point is, I need to put this chat somewhere on the top somehow. I just wish I could make it big and make this a window that remains on top, but unfortunately I guess that is not possible, because every time I click somewhere else, then I'm getting. So what am I even supposed to do right now? I don't have anything, any ideas or any oh, okay, this is some guy. Oh, nice. See, I don't actually know how to. Oh, there is a viewer. Hello. I'll probably not say your name out loud because that might get me banned. I don't know how strict the policies are.
1,000.
Sorry about that. Someone's channel just started. Trying to figure out some settings. It's pretty bright. I don't think I can turn it down, but let's see. Hold on, let me just struggle with the settings a little bit more. Yeah, it should be pretty bright, because let's see if I can turn it down. No, I don't think you can see me like this at all. Yeah, I guess heaven is a bit better. The whole room is light, right? That's why it's light colors and full white light. Wish there was a way to modify the brightness of the light, but unfortunately that's not possible. I could try the window, but then it gives me light from behind my head, and it looks like I am some enlightened person with a halo behind my head. Yeah, I will try that. That streaming light setup, I actually just got a microphone, so I'm from India. The accent should give it away very quickly. Oh, that was an old channel. Old challenge. I used to just show up and study every day for 6 to 7 hours. That was the plan. I did finish the challenge. I got through the exam as well. Now the second stage, I had it. Don't know how that one went. Results are still not out. But since the exam is over now, the challenge is also done. I know I study. Yeah, I am very bad at guessing people's ages. I guess the beard does make me look a bit older. So 34, 35 or 30s. Actual age is 31. Oh, okay, that's good. "31" is the actual age. So I'm flattered that I look 27ish. Yeah, unfortunately I'm past that 30 mark. So now I guess you call that a fossil, right? Yeah, it's sad. You never really think you would be at a point where you are past 30. Then you suddenly are. Well, technically, I did have a job and such, but I decided I needed something more. So I'm trying to get through a public services post. So it's not exactly study, it's a preparation for a competitive exam of sorts. If you are from India, then you can definitely guess. Yeah, that's the one. Forest services to be specific. Yeah, then you know UPSC, right? That's the one. UPSC Forest Services exam. Oh, nice. Heard nothing but positive things from South Korea. Yeah, Forest Services. Oh, I mean, you can always list some. I would actually like to hear those because South Korea is generally considered pretty good to live. Besides, let's say, somewhere in Norway, Scandinavian countries, the East Asian ones are considered a reasonable place to live. Oh, really? Ah, that I have heard. Both in Japan and South Korea, people are just working a lot. And expensive, yes, that I have heard as well. But those two kind of go together, right? If people are working a lot, they have a lot of money to spend. So everything will be expensive if you don't work that much. I should probably fix my audio settings as well. I have just started streaming after a while, so you should be hearing some noise and such at low levels. But they have changed the entire layout of the uh, multi-streaming thing, and I don't know how to actually use any of these new things. So yeah, I'm certified old. I struggle with new technology now. In India, there's a lot of focus on arranged marriage. So I actually got some proposals, but I have been focused more on the career and exams. So I actually shut them down for a while. But now I'm thinking I need to get that box ticked, if you will. It's actually a no, not really. More like acquaintances, but never really love. Even in the college I was in, there weren't a lot of girls to begin with because it's a rather distant place. So spent most of my time reading, playing games, those things. Funny you should bring that up because just in 2 days I will be going to attend a friend's wedding. So everybody basically in my age group is getting married now. So I should be next. Which part of India? The western part, Maharashtra. Yeah, you are from Chennai, so you should know. I'm actually in Bangalore right now, so not quite in Maharashtra. Or Bengaluru, as the southern people insist calling it. Yeah, I have been here very recently, so I don't know it that much besides the main spots is Kaban Park or basically Kaban Park, not much other than that. MG Road, Kaban Park, that Phoenix Mall. Yeah, actually, food wise, I think I preferred Pune a little bit because Pune is very famous for people who love to eat, and there are a lot of people there. There are a lot of different restaurants there as well. But here too, the food has not been a problem. Yeah, I stayed in Delhi for a while, stayed in Rajasthan for a bit. So I think North has some specific. Wow, okay, that's amazing because I just mentioned the wedding, right? That's where I'm flying to the next 2 days. The wedding destination is Kolkata. Nice, so I'll try some street food there, assuming it's clean and I don't get some kind of stomach problems or such. How long have you been in South Korea? Because maybe it takes time to adjust to local kind of food. Okay, so by now you should be used to it. Then I can take your word for it. See, I had a viewer from America a couple of months ago when I used to stream, and he would always complain that the food there is all junk, that junk food is the only thing that is cheap, and people all fill up on junk food. So you're on the other side of the spectrum there. I actually don't know what South Korean cuisine is like. Usually you have Chinese or Italian, that is pasta and such, but South Korean food I have never really. That's why. I'm a vegetarian, right? So, oh, okay. Yeah, apparently even the whole Eastern China, sorry, China, Japan region, dogs are edible creatures. My father actually had a suggestion that I don't know if you keep up with any international or Indian news, because we have a huge problem of street dogs, stray dogs, and there is a not only they are very difficult to control, it's taking a lot of money to actually keep them from biting people. So my father's idea was to just catch them and export them to these countries. I mean, why not, right? If they like eating, then not something I could bring myself to do because I really love dogs. Yeah, he does. He has a lot of vision, he has a lot of ideas that he has been insisting that I should help him implement some of those, which I will be doing soon enough because I have been stuck with this exam, right? Now, hopefully, I'll get a positive result and get out of it. He's actually a very active person. He's one of the first people, like 20-30 years ago, he's one of the first farmers in Maharashtra that got genetically modified cotton, for example. Actually, he's an engineer, but he also does farming, he does a lot of things. I don't know how he has so much more energy than I do. I'm 30 and he's like more than twice that age, and he's still just finding out new things to do every day. It is. It definitely is. Now I can say that with experience because I have tried for a few years now. That's actually how I started this whole streaming thing, because I wanted to have some way to study consistently. I mean, some kind of external accountability, let's say. That every day I'm showing up and doing something, and I thought if I did it live on the stream, then I would feel like people are watching. So it actually helped. I did the whole challenge for 60 days or so. Oh, that depends on where you visited, right? uh, I don't understand what that means. Big people, small people culture. What I should try to find out a way. Okay. Yeah, I would say it's places like Chennai or generally South India is a lot safer than, let's say, somewhere like Bihar or Delhi. Yeah, that is there. Even South Korea has a bit of economic royalty from what I have heard. You have like those big companies called chaebols or something, large economic giants which are controlled by families. Because I wrote that as an example in my UPSC paper. That's how I know that. Yeah, that makes sense, because even in India, say we have Reliance Group or Adani Group, they don't really get involved in public affairs so much. They don't really have to, right? Why would they even want to do that? But we have like levels upon levels of royalty, basically. Everything from a district collector to a small constable is a big guy that you have to really respect, or they will make your life hell. Just give me a minute, I will be just back in a second. Yeah, nothing much. It's lunchtime here. Time in South Korea should be evening, right? Yeah, 4:12, thought so. So you have anything at 4 o'clock? Snack break or something like that? Oh, yeah, we also have dinner at 6 to 7 because I prefer that early timing. Then I have some milk and go to bed. It's better to have some gap between your dinner and sleep. That's actually a nice timing, and a lot of people find that surprising in the sense they eat at 9 and 9:30. And I don't get that. I should actually find a way to have this chat visible on the screen. I used to be able to do that, but not with this new connection, because you should be able to see what I can read and what I cannot write. Yeah, it's my first day back. There is time. That is the fun thing about streaming, though. One thing I hadn't considered is how many people from how many countries you're able to talk to. Mainly, my viewers were people, not really viewers, I would like have 3, 4 at best, but mostly those were people from USA who could not sleep, so they just found a stream and joined in. But there were also people from Africa, from say Europe, and even from a lot of people from India would join in sometimes. So that's the strange part. You get used to all the time zones. Speaking of, I should probably change that kick title to something just like first stream back or something like that. So yeah, that okay. Yeah, at least you have that kind of entertainment, right? I think especially during that COVID lockdown period, a lot of these streaming sites exploded, and those video chat platforms also exploded. Unfortunately, people misuse them for, let's say, uh, explicit content, so they got shut down very quickly. But I really like the idea of just talking to people overall. Even over the years, before all this streaming and such, a lot of my friends I just met online through gaming or just talking about movies and such, and we are still in touch. So even if you're not physically present with people, you can get good connection with them. Better than just sitting at home doing nothing. Victory Gym, it was supposed to be a 120-day challenge, but now the challenge is actually over. uh, but I will start something else. The idea was to just show up regularly and stream, and as well as study for 120 days straight. But I realized that just being online was causing problems, so I studied offline. Okay. As for life hacks that I have found over time, okay, that's a difficult question. Yeah, first thing I would say, the schedule really matters. For me, every time before my exam, I would give up on the schedule and decide I would put everything I have, every minute I have into exam preparation, but that never really worked out for me because I would always crash. This is like something I've learned repetitively, that even if you do little by little structured every day, that works out better in the long run than trying to do a lot in one day. Because I would always feel like I'm wasting time, let's say going to the gym or going for walks or even just taking rest, something like that. And I thought I should put everything I have into that exam at least 1 month or so before. But that never really worked out. But the time I actually did well in the exam was I kept my routine all the way to the last day. It actually helped me a lot in terms of just managing stress, because every time I would wake up early, I would feel very confused if I didn't have a routine. Like, should I study history, geography, economy? What am I supposed to do? But thanks, Victory Jain, but the exam is not yet complete. I only got through the first stage. Yeah, as I was saying, that routine just got me started. Let's just say morning you go to the gym, you come home, you do a little meditation, and then you feel fresh, like, yeah, I have done something. Then you're not panicking as much as just going straight to studies instead. So right now it's a bit of a lull period in the sense that the exam is done and I actually have nothing to stream about, but I decided that I should join anyway. Yeah, I think I think all of us did the same thing during our graduation days. I didn't drink, but for me, my vice basically was watching a lot of TV series, movies, playing games. That's where I wasted a lot of my time. See, as I said, generally at this time, there are a lot of people from states, people who cannot sleep, so they join in. So we had a running joke back when I was streaming more regularly that there are three kinds of people in the chat. One is insomniacs, second is bots, and third is Indians. See? Called it. Someday I want to do that as well, visit Vegas, but yeah, it's going to be even more difficult nowadays. Yeah, yeah, that's the problem with me, right? I don't drink, I don't gamble, so what would I even do there? Ah, Yeah, New York is the primary destination that I'm considering if I visit states. Seems like the simplest place to go and just visit. There actually are a lot of things to go and tour in USA. For example, say Yellowstone Park is there, the Niagara Falls is there. Since I have been studying geology a bit, I also want to visit some geological sites. Let's say that valley, Death Valley, and that would have been a great opportunity for you. But yeah, Ireland is another thing I just want to visit sometimes, just because of the culture I have heard is very fun. Just from their accents, it's nice to just listen to them talk. Yeah, I think getting a visa would be a very difficult thing right now. I think they recently announced that all the people from third world would not be getting visas for quite a while, something like that. I guess you are right now you are in Korea, but you do count as Indian. So speaking of tourism, I also want to go and visit that Redwood National Park in Canada. It has some massive trees, like 300, 400 feet tall trees are there. That's something I want to watch someday. And yeah, actually, some of my friends had to come back from USA because the working conditions there are not as good as they used to be. Yeah, see, even that just coming back is not so much of a problem, but the more dangerous one is where people are just attacking people of different nationalities and such. Let's say Australia, there was an attack on Indian student. That's the risk. That's the scary part in any kind of tourism these days. Because the person in front of you is probably angry, has lost his job, and he wants to take that anger out on someone. He has no idea that you are just up there to look at your country and go home. Comparatively, I think places like Korea or Japan are much safer, and seems like it would be an interesting place to visit as well. Japan, obviously, because everybody these days is watching anime and such, right? So you want to go and just look at those places. Hokkaido, Tokyo, those hot springs and ramen and all that thing. I think things have escalated badly basically everywhere. Even in India, people are just on edge everywhere. We actually had quite a bit of discussion on this in our political science class as well, because in the sense Since let's say 2008 2010, the global financial crisis, when China started rising, that's where the tensions started rising as well. That was their basic theory, that since instead of one, now there are going to be two superpowers for a while. Everywhere there will be issues. Yeah, it is very simplistic. In the sense, it's a grand theory basically. There are actually four ways of looking at it, from unipolar to in transition phase, right? From going from a unipolar to multipolar to bipolar. There are actually, they propose a lot of theories there. I'm just looking at the biggest one. The second one, in terms of populism, would be just, there is a book on that actually, something called Revolt of Middle Class or something like that, because populism is typically a characteristic of authoritarian regimes, right? Because in terms of theory, someone like Plato would say it's just a natural consequence of democracy, which is a very wild thing to say, but that's what the theory says. Yeah, that's the problematic thing, right? You want people to, let's say, you want to go by majority, but you don't want majoritarian tendencies in your country. So that's a very paradoxical balance to strike. We were actually talking about this in South Korea as well, where he's from. He was saying the place is very dystopian these days, that people are just workaholics, they don't talk to each other, they don't socialize. It's a very strange place to live in. So it feels like everything is dystopian these days. Even in India, recently we had some kind of law that, not, I think it's an executive order that said in every phone now there is supposed to be a government installed app which will, let's say, keep you safe, if you will. Not something I'm very comfortable with, but it's going to be there now. Yeah, I think US Constitution is a special case in that regard, because they have done a lot of experimentation in terms of let's say traditional British style of democracy, which is more representative. They went with a presidential form of government, but they also strongly support a non-popular rule, if you will, which, oh, if you mean about Indian government, we actually now have a law that will have a government-based app that is compulsorily installed in every phone, every cell phone there is, and you cannot uninstall it, you cannot block it. So basically, it's supposed to keep people safe, but I kind of worry that it's going towards like a mass surveillance thing. So Yeah, I understand why it is being done, because there are a lot of people who are falling for cyber frauds these days. Because let's say a newly educated middle class and such, they don't really understand how to stay safe, and there the app is useful. But again, do you really want the government controlling every part of your phone? I mean, they're not saying they will control every part of your phone, but what they're saying in what they're doing, it doesn't always add up. Yeah, they are going to have access, and even for small things, let's say something like uh, what should I say? Something like reading comics or such, manga or comics. If you have an app that will constantly monitor for such websites, piracy websites, and such, then you would have to put half the country in jail. From what I understand, even Kick is banned in India. The reasoning is it's a site that promotes gambling, but again, it doesn't make sense because every day we see ads on gambling. So I guess Kick is just competition for local gambling companies or something. Yeah, from what I have heard, there is a big organization, Palantir or something, that is working on it, right? What a name to even pick for that one. From what I understand, Grok has been given access to government as well, government data as well. Yeah, interesting is a good word to use there. There are a lot of conferences and such that are going on responsible use of these new technologies, and usually this mass surveillance and such are considered the most or let's say worst use of these technologies in every one of these AI and digital conferences. But seems like every government is taking steps in that regard. Especially UK, from what I see, is in a particularly bad shape in terms of their hate speech laws and whatever they have over there. Yeah, actually, sometimes visit in rural India and such, and feels like people are actually more ethical there in some sense compared to the more educated people, let's say. That's the strange thing, because we do have ethics as a subject in our classes these days, and somehow people are becoming less ethical. And it's not just business, I mean, in the sense, even people, ordinary people who you would expect to have a better moral compass, that they're just very strange to talk to. Well, there are actually two ways to look over that. People have always been like this, and we haven't been paying attention, because personally, I have been mostly engaged in technological sides, let's say electronics and computer science, physics, maths. I have never been a part of humanities subject until recently. So this political science, sociology, all these things are quite new to me. That's maybe why I'm noticing all these things now. That's also a possibility. Yeah, there is crypto, and the overall finance system is all becoming digital, right? And earlier it used to be the case that if you are doing some kind of protest or something, then you would have access to funding from some people in the that were not part of the establishment. But now, if you are everything is digital, then you can just simply block those accounts in an instant. Yeah, I think bribes are common everywhere, right? But it's just the amount and volume of it that. It's the weirdest thing in terms of bribes, because just a couple of months ago here, one of the top officials of the country got caught taking a bribe of 25,000 rupees. And I just to put that into context, that about $250. It doesn't even make sense. Like, you are such a huge, you have an enormous post and incredible amount of respect, and I kind of get it if it's like millions of dollars you are getting into bribes, but he got caught taking a bribe of $250. It's just. Yeah. And the funny thing is, this whole social media and people getting involved in the discussions should actually improve the situations quite a bit, in terms of just discussing how to stop corruption or how you can communicate with people better. But seems like social media is making things worse than uh, instead of making it better. Because I actually view a lot of clips from a lot of these talk shows and such, right? uh, and all of them seems to be just fighting over something instead of talking things through. And sadly, those are the kind of clips that actually get the attention as much as possible. So it's not just that they're trying to do it, it's just what works. It was Qatar, yeah. I have heard about that one. This whole Middle Eastern nations are becoming somehow more active in all these kind of politics. Even, I don't know if you follow boxing of sorts, boxing or mixed martial arts. They have also been trying to sports wash, as it is called. Just everything is these days sponsored by Saudis. So people are somehow becoming more accepting of them being involved in these kind of businesses. But on the flip side, we do get to watch all the matches that we wanted to. Yeah, they have a very big funding, as you can expect from a Middle Eastern country. So they can just offer a lot of money to boxers to uh, make whatever matches that fans actually want to see, and they get that done. So people are happy about them to some extent instead of worrying about what that influence means. No, not in terms of cricket. We do have cricket. They are not involved in cricket so much. It's mainly just combat sports, say boxing mainly. Cricket, we don't need external forces because it's already so popular here that no additional revenue is required. Yeah, especially these days, they are actually making it more new audience friendly in the sense that the matches don't take the whole day anymore, just 20 overs, so it will be done in a couple of hours. The easiest way to watch is probably the World Cup, something like that. Yeah, it's happening everywhere. Even I play a lot of chess these days, and even chess is doing the same thing. That each game just finishes within 6 minutes or so, so people can just watch quickly and then be done with it. Short attention spans, you know. Yeah, I do casually, very casually. I'm not very good at it. Yeah, I play anonymously, so I can't really give you an estimate. But just based on just watching speed runs and such, somewhere around 14-1500 should be reasonable. Yeah, there are a lot of people online who are doing these speed runs these days. There is Hikaru himself is doing one. Then obviously, I don't know if you have heard of him. Daniel Naroditsky was doing one. He passed away recently. That was the thing that even helped me play a little bit better than I used to. Oh, nice. That's the best time. You have to get them before they grow up. My nephew has been trying to beat me for the last few years. Yeah. And he's getting closer. I guess that's one good part about getting older, that you get all these new stories. Yeah, I think generally knights are my most hated piece to play against because you always have to watch out for not just their first move, you have to keep watching out for the second move. That's the extremely irritating thing to play against, especially if you are playing fast chess, right? Somehow you always fall for that one fork. I have actually wanted to play chess a bit more seriously for a couple of years now, but just never getting the time. The funny part is, I do spend quite a bit of time on things in an unstructured way, but feels like there is no time when you actually want to set aside specific time for it. Then you realize you don't have any time. Yeah, I think my nephew did get scholars mated instead of trying it. He was actually pretty sad about it. I was showing him how to play online, and the first game he was playing, somebody did scholars mate on him, and he was very upset about that. Yeah. I play that way as well, like very solid, very defensive. Like take one pawn somewhere and then you can grind it out in the end game. I don't like a lot of strong tactical positions with a lot of complications. Yeah, actually, I have to head out as well. I just wanted to test out the settings today, but it's nice to have somebody who stayed over and talked. Thank you. And if you are back again sometimes, maybe we can play online on Leeches or somewhere. Okay. Thanks for stopping by. I'm stopping the stream today as well.